Hello, I'm Steve Multi Mason, and I am back once again with Paul Ray.
Alright.
And Lubo Carl.
How do?
How do? And what I was going to try and do is I was going to have a little bit of a laugh here. It may work, it may not work. Let's have a look here. That's him. Let's see. Is it working? No, 2 seconds. Don't worry, don't worry. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Wait there, wait there. I know this is a long pause to the start, but people probably realise by now that they're not watching.
What am I watching again? Goonies,
yeah. I have to hang up on them. Let's see if this works. Sorry, really bad intro.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, David. How you doing? Right, we're on a live podcast, Sluggy, and we were wanting to know if you wanted to watch the Goonies with us.
No, I'm fucking good, mate. I'm alright. I'll pass. Thank you.
All right then, buddy. Right, I'll give you a call back later on, okay? Bye.
Is this literally all it was for?
Yep, it's live.
Pretty much. Fuck you. You don't get to do this. Fuck all three of you and fuck the Goonies as well, right? Lovely. Oh, bless. Oh, no way. Good enough, that should be the song. Sluggy's not good enough. Good enough for me.
Right, okay, guys. After 3, we're watching this on Blu-ray. So 3, 2, 1, play.
1.
Oh God, that was just fucking perfect. Right, so this was my idea to watch this. What were we originally meant to do?
Well, I've seen so many films thrown up in the air, mate. I can't keep track of what we were originally going to do.
Steven Spielberg with his fingers in a lot of pies. He did have his
skull just looks really weird though. It's like a very plaster looking skull.
Just a movie. That's gotta be it.
Jesus Christ, that's like 2 seconds in, that. Jesus Christ.
Right, now this is obviously, when this came out on DVD, it was a 12, because I remember this is, you know, when we talked about The Labyrinth, when we did The Labyrinth, and we were on about, like, you know, when you're a kid and you see the Goonies, unlike Sluggy, who's never seen the Goonies. This is the scene, what was added in the hanging scene.
Yeah, because it says full and cut version.
Yeah, and it's a 12, yeah.
Because one was Warner Brothers cards, one was Warner Brothers slapper cases, and every time it's on TV, it's always cut shreds.
So is the subtitles with Feldman in it.
Yeah.
Now he hasn't been in a lot, has he? But he turns up as one of the bad guys in Expendables 3, which is a very random appearance.
Yeah. I love the theme tune.
And then this guy as well, obviously notoriously known as well, he's the captain in Bad Boys, which again blows your fucking mind.
Yeah.
She's fucking terrifying, her mind.
I can only name 2 films she's been in.
Throw Mama from the Train in this. Well, she died, didn't she? She died quite long after this, did she?
A few years, I think, afterwards, like.
See, when you're watching this without the scene of him hanging, he just runs out the bank at the start, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love the score. It
is a good. When I listen to the score or the soundtrack, it's always listen to like the 17-minute version of it. There's like the intro and the outro and stuff. But it's really good. The score, like.
I tell you, sorry to cut you off, Paul. There, this would be a shame, like if we didn't have Matt Davies, because Matt Davies has actually been at all the locations this was filmed, didn't he?
Yeah.
We should ring him and give him loads of grief, then hang up on him.
I'm gonna say, was it a part of his 12 Blu-ray collection though?
Oh, I don't know.
It was.
I like how this introduces all the cast in this opening scene.
Yeah.
Kerry Green as well. Now, I don't know if anyone knows this, Kerry Green is also in a film called Lucas. and Corey Haim and Corey Feldman both auditioned for Mouth, and both auditioned for Lucas. Corey Haim got Lucas, Corey Feldman got Mouth, and that's how they originally met in the audition. And that's the only other thing I've seen Kerry Green in. But in that Goonies reunion they did, she looked fine.
I was going to say, I was really surprised when they asked her how many times someone shouted, Andy, you Goonie? And she's like, none. I was like, how does nobody, like, in a convention or at a, like, kind of a setup like that, I'd be totally screaming, Andy, you Goonie.
I know why they don't do it, though. I know.
Why?
Fucking lost profits.
that is true.
Short round.
Short round just appeared here. Now I did a podcast funny enough got released the other night. California Man. I was blown away by when I was watching California Man because Encino Man and Went Where You From, and Sean Astin's that. But Data's actually in that as well, all grown up, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching a YouTube kind of movie quiz, and one of the questions was, it wasn't a quiz, it's kind of a game as well. One of the questions is, which actor would you put into a crossover film? And I thought it was actually really interesting that one of the guys turned around and said it would be Data. And of course, what's happened is, while making one of his gadgets, he created a time machine, and he goes way back in time and finds his great granddad, which of course is. Does anyone want you to guess?
Jackie Chan.
The same actor, same actor in another Spielberg film. Short round.
Oh, right.
A bit of a crossover between them two, like kind of having like a buddy cop kind of film. And I just thought, it is. I would actually sign up to watch something like that. I think it would have to have been made in the 80s for it to work, but I think it would have been quite entertaining.
Awesome.
I remember this one at Christmas, like.
Just with my head in, I'm gonna have to look it up. I've just watched a film recently with I'm gonna butcher his name, Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah.
I cannot figure out what it is. It literally was no the film.
He's in Fugitive. He's in
He
Fugitive.
had hair and everything.
He's
The
Fugitive.
That's the one I watched him in.
See, I'm good, mate. It's called Cosmos and Fugitive. Now, arguably, Josh. I was just going to say, obviously, Josh Brolin has become the most famous actor from the Goonies. But for me personally, I was shocked because, like, I didn't see Josh Brolin in anything, and I had seen stuff like Hollow Man, and I didn't even fucking click it was him. He was just kind of like, he went under the radar.
Really.
Well, yeah, the event. I mean, he's worked. He's done well, Josh Brolin. He's constantly worked.
What I wanted to.
Oh my god. One talk, one doesn't talk.
Right, I'm sorry. I'll shut up, Carl. I'll shut up.
Well, no, because I was going to try and get it in. So because it ties in, you were saying about how we've done a lot and how we've become the most famous. But one of the things I really thought was quite nice was when they did the reunion meet a couple of weeks ago, because he's sitting there with every single one of their actors. I mean, the guy's just being Thanos. You know what I mean? One of the most profitable films in the world. He's absolutely massive, but he still looks like he's having so much fun discussing things like the Goonies, which I think says a lot about his character as a person, I think.
He's done some really, he's a really good actor, Josh Brolin, but he's been in absolutely loads. Everyone obviously thought for years that Chunk was dead. I think at this point, though, Corey Feldman is the most famous at the time because of Gremlins and Friday the 13th. Because they were before this, so.
But for me,
True,
Gremlins really.
I was going to say true because I think with Friday the 13th, even knowing that he's in this and Friday the 13th, I think the character he plays in this is so far away from what he did in Friday the 13th.
Oh, by far. I mean,
I don't think I would have connected them together.
I think that his performance as Tommy in Friday the 13th Part 4, especially when he hacks the fuck out of him at the end, is like, it is a very, very dark performance for a child that age, and it's definitely had an effect on him.
And this is 2 years before Lost Boys, isn't it? 85, and Lost Boys was 87, wasn't it?
Was this not made in 84?
I also was 1985.
I've got 85 on my notes.
Yep.
I mean, it's a big jump for.
But even a growth spurt, if it's only 2 years, because you look at him in here, he's like a child, whereas I know he's still a kid in Lost Boys, but he definitely pulls off more like an older teenager in Lost Boys.
I know this was from Richard Donner. This was a long summer filming, you know, especially like. Now, there's a lot of places like that in New Zealand still. If anyone wants to know what Welton's like and certain bits of Nelson, that's what it looks. It looks like the Goondocks. It does.
Like Brain Dead.
Brain Dead, Meet the Female. Yeah. Frighteners, yeah.
Obviously, short round, they have short round, and obviously Temple of Doom was just after this for him. Then he's became a stuntman, didn't he?
Spielberg. He's only just started acting the last couple of years, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he came back after a while, but then again, it's like when you talk about like Chumper, I mean, not even acting anymore. You know what I mean? Hence, I mean, surely most people think he died.
He's he's an agent though, isn't he? He's one of the biggest agents in Hollywood for children, isn't he?
I was going to say, I think in terms of financially successful, I think he definitely beat most of these.
Wasn't he in a film called Mac and Cheese or something?
Mac and
I
Cheese?
think you're just hungry, aren't you?
No, I'm sure he was in some kind of film called Mac and Cheese. Oh, that might be fucking Joey Tribbiani from Friends, but I'm sure he was in a fucking one with fucking robots.
We're talking about Chunk?
Aye.
Are you not thinking of Mac and Me?
No, I definitely know what Mac and Me is.
Everyone knows what Mac and Me is. Jesus
I've got his IMDb and I'm getting nothing with.
Well, he hasn't done many
I
movies.
think it's,
that's why I know it's just so low on his list, because I mean, he did the Goonies and then ABC After School Special. He did 2 short videos with Cindy Lauper doing the Goonies Are Good Enough.
When your kid watching this, sorry man, when your kid watching this with the subtitles, what's speed, what's this, what's that, you wouldn't know, would you?
Well, this wasn't in the TV cuts. This is something that just appeared in DVD, yeah. The mum.
Like the mum can he fit?
Well, she's in a lot of the Lethal Weapons, isn't she? She's isn't she like Riggs' psychiatrist or something?
Yeah.
I don't know why she got broken arm for.
I didn't really. I think I just really want to explain that they needed that help. That Spanish lady.
Never thought of it until now. Even the subtitles are properly neat, don't they? They haven't been re-digitized or anything, you know.
Oh, no, they're all
things. I think that.
Sexual torture device.
Fucking dark and dingy, like, isn't it? Look at the fucking like, you can like the plaque wood, like the panel wooden.
Yeah.
Books on a staircase. I would just fall over them. Now, I think the first time I seen this was actually like on a Saturday afternoon, like explorers and stuff like that. In summer holiday. Would have been on a Saturday afternoon. I've probably seen this on TV, and then I think I bought a video.
It's definitely. I mean, I've got quite a lot of editions. I've got like VHSs. I don't have the Laserdisc, but like it's had quite a few releases though, from like the American Special Edition to our 30th anniversary. It's had a steelbook. The artwork's changed dramatically. I love the Josh Brolin holding on to the jagged edge. Isn't it the Juice Jewson one when they're all hanging down?
Yeah, the Juice Jewson.
That's amazing. I'm not too keen on the oil painting of them all like cowering around the rock that is on everything, and I'm not too much of a fan of. But like the newest and latest cover is just a big picture of Chunk's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, the big
awful.
the one of his big character ones. Yeah, we never got over here, did we? Oh, we did.
Yeah,
we
just
did,
kind of, yeah.
Just, yeah. And obviously, the newest one would be the 4K. Can you actually believe 1985 films coming out in 4K? Warner Brothers are really fun now at the moment, like Beetlejuice, this.
As well, I mean, if you go back to the channel, I mean, Paul, one of our first collaborations together was the Goonies video. When I talked about all the different versions, you talked about the pops. And obviously, because, like we live so far apart, like, you had filmed your bits and I had to react to it. And that was a great, like, little... I enjoyed doing that, even though it was fucking so complex. Because obviously there was no retakes with you. But that, it just shows you, like, I think, like, everyone's got a love for the Goonies, except for Sluggy. But, you know...
It's one of those films you'd put any time. It's if you, like I keep saying, if you had 10 movies in your collection, this would have to be in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean this is like Gremlins. I mean Gremlins, this and The Lost Boys are three big films. Funny enough, all still filming, but I've seen it probably the right age. This is a film that for years they've tried to make a sequel, and the best idea would be to have these back, but then set the kids off on their own adventure. But at this point in time, it's almost like when Peter Jackson did King Kong, and he says there's no point in setting it now because there's nothing left to explore. When this was made, at their childhood, that hunt, that treasure, them urban myths, them local treasure myths, and friendship and kin. You know what I mean? It's perfectly captured. And again, it's Spielberg. Spielberg had his fingers in so many pies in the 80s. It was ridiculous.
This, E.T., Geist, you just named three of them like that. Gremlins.
Indiana Jones.
Obviously now, if you made this now, pirates are boring, aren't they? And I mean, in the 80s they were cool, they were exciting. Now it's just like Twitter and MySpace this and all that stuff.
I always thought, though, I've just never thought of something that would be worthy of a Goonies sequel. Even like doing another adventure. I mean, what other adventure? I mean, it's not even like the kid or being adventurous, but acting on a pretty kind of niche like problem is that obviously the Goondocks are being sold. So I feel like even if they had a random adventure, it would be still a little bit out of place.
Yeah.
You know, like, look at them. I mean, most of these characters don't really want I wouldn't say want to go on the adventure, but it's like not like that's what they would have done on a given Saturday.
I mean, some of the ideas here, they've got this big treasure chest up there, and he just happens to find, like, the piece of the puzzle, you know what I mean? But, like, you don't really question it.
But I think it plays on how silly it can be as well, though. I mean, if we go back to that scene where the Spanish maid is halfway across the road, and of course, naturally, when doing the car chase scene, like it is, I think it is sped up. And like she does kind of almost like a comic like twirl
jump.
So I feel like it plays on it, like makes fun of itself in moment, but at the same time, it's also, I think, might be a bit cheesy to say, but it's also like got a lot of heart, so you can like sort of buy it a bit more.
I hope they never do a sequel. Just leave it where they see to the tour for years and years. You just films.
I mean, Richard Donner's 90 now. Do you know what I mean? He's just fucking. He couldn't even get into the reunion without help from his daughter. Never mind fucking, because it'll all be CGI and stuff. And I mean, he's an amazing director, but it's kind of like it probably could have only happened at the start of this resurgence. Because I still believe, like, I still believe that the only film that could really translate having a reboot that would capture the 80s is Big Trouble in Little China. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those films that's not taken too serious, and it's endless. But like, again, The Lost Boys 2, like that, they tried it, but all they did was remake the fucking film. Do you know what I mean?
That's all it was, yeah. Rehash. Now, are we in agreement that One-Eye Willie is definitely a deliberate innuendo?
One-Eyed Willie is a bit, he's a bit of an innuendo. It's also the fact that Michael Jackson was on set, so yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like it's in a time where I could totally see it being innocent, like nobody thought of it that way. But then you can't. A massive set like that, someone must have turned around and said, "You think he means a cock?"
Well, the
You know
thing
what I mean?
is, though, I mean, as the kid, though, he remembers the story, but it's like one-eyed Willie. Of course, he's going to remember it because he's like, that sounds funny to Willie.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I remember the name for.
Well, because penis.
Oh, put away.
Wow. Booby traps. Booby traps.
Booby traps?
That's what I said. Booby traps.
Booby traps? So, first have you seen this?
Me, I would say 6 or 7. I would imagine. I just remember seeing it at Christmas again, going back to the whole like Goonies is on, and you had the Labyrinth, and then Batman was coming out. Do you know what I mean? Batman was the big one for Christmas and stuff like that. So we're talking like we're talking early 90s, I'd imagine.
I would definitely say probably. I think it might have been closer to 10, to be honest with you.
On video?
Definitely a TV film. No, I think it was TV first time I saw it.
Yeah.
Sunday. Funny enough, because I was like kind of thinking to myself there when you mentioned like which one of those Saturday kind of films, and I'm pretty confident this was something I saw on a Sunday. Like kind of, so you think if we had like big tea spreads with all the family on Sundays, and I always feel like that's kind of got that link to it. So I feel like it definitely would have been like a Sunday afternoon.
If you
and I should have been getting ready for school.
ham sandwiches in your mom's bar and your cup of tea.
What the fuck are you getting ready to school for on a Saturday?
Given my nana do here with more of a butter sandwich with a bit of ham on top.
Well, there you go.
With that butter, like. But good memories. Is it safe to say? Now I might get a lot of hate for this because I really don't dislike him. I think in pretty much everything I've seen him do, I've enjoyed it. But to a certain degree, Sean Astin is not like it comes off really forced in some of his deliveries. Almost like to say like he's really trying to get these lines out. And for his age, he has got like quite a lot of dialogue. But I do think like sometimes he comes off a little bit like he's focusing so hard on making sure everything.
I recently seen him in 51st Dates, and I think on that he really, really had a lot of fun with it. There's still lots of
list, didn't he?
Yeah, he has the list. You don't want to fight,
Right.
But again, if you look at him in Encino Man, which is essentially a comedy that which obviously juggernauted by the fame Pauly Shore hit at the time, he really drives it home as that jealous friend that obviously is willing to sacrifice his friendship over jealousy. And that, I mean, again, it comes off really strong. But like, he did films like Ruby and stuff like that in the 90s where he was really taking himself. Huh? Yeah. He just took himself really serious. And again, you've got to look, he is still working strong today. You've got to look at that, some kids.
Yeah, you obviously Lord of the Rings, bring them back. I watched this little show, you guys may not have heard of it, I don't think it has, called Stranger Things recently.
Oh, yeah, that small indie thing, yeah?
Yeah.
He was in that too. Classic. This is a classic shot list when I'm looking at the map, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sean Astin, like, just bring something to it, I think.
I think Sean Astin should have gotten an award for Lord of the Rings. That should have been Best Supporting Actor. I don't know, I can't remember, I'll have to look it up who got it in the end, but he should definitely have gotten that, like.
Now, I've got to say the Cyndi Lauper song is actually on my playlist.
What do you mean Cyndi Lauper? They're still sitting in the fucking kitchen.
Mine's not. Mine's now TV, remember?
I'm still in the kitchen with you, like Mason.
Corey Feldman is now getting wet in the sink.
Yep, that's me, yep.
Calm down. Who the fuck was that?
I was fucking sloth over there.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, Paul, but if you like kind of squint a little bit, your photograph on this page is definitely a bit of a sloth look going on.
Oh, her lips here, man. It's a. She was fucking massive in the 80s, man. WrestleMania, music videos, a lot like.
Yeah.
like 7 minutes long, isn't it, for wrestlers on it? But like I said,
because obviously they must have gone on to do that straight after doing this film. Like,
Well, what happened was
pretty...
Richard Donner had enough of the kids. I mean, you've just seen his Winnebago outside a few times because they just basically mowed around this town. And Spielberg actually flew all the Goonies cast, and when Richard Donner got home, they were all sitting back in his fucking house, and he was about to scream. Because the end of the day...
Be, though, wouldn't you? I mean, you look at all those kids, there would definitely be a handful on set, like...
Well, that's it. I mean, I think Feldman must have done Stand By Me before Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Fucking
But
busted.
yeah, like I said, the Goonies Good Enough For You is on my playlist. Definitely.
More post. Goonies.
Just
That is literally that's there's towns like that in New Zealand, like, so.
Yeah.
Good old America, brown paper bags.
Yeah.
poop in them, and you burn the poop in a bag and knock on people's door.
Yeah, it's definitely America, that old.
That was Billy Madison I watched a few weeks ago again.
I love it how she's keeping on going. I mean, that's like, get a scene working, you know what I mean?
She's just kicking the food out on the floor.
Again, those little things like there. Where's he at? The Astoria Historical Museum. I mean, you wouldn't have seen that in VHS. It would have been cropped out.
Yeah.
Got a damn pan and scan. Something lovely 1.85 we have at the moment.
I mean, if your tyres didn't work, you would just take the boat, like, wouldn't you?
Now hold on a minute. This might be outdated. I mean, I've never seen it before, but just looking at it now. So apparently, the Goonies 2 is listed on IMDb as announced.
Yeah.
It's got Chris Columbus doing the writing, but it's literally got, like, obviously it's got Cyndi Lauper cast as Bean Soup Annie. You got David Davey playing Jake again, and you got Corey Feldman as Mouth. I mean, they're the only three, but to give someone a character name like Bean Soup Annie, surely that must be that there's something on paper we're like working on at the moment.
I hope not.
I mean, they've been trying
just
for
looking at
years.
That's weird. That, like, if it just been Cyndi Lauper and Corey Feldman just as name, I'd be like, okay. But to give her a character name, I'd almost feel like there must be a script there.
I mean, there was a bit of buzz when Sean Astin turned up in Corey Feldman's Music Millennium. Ascension, Millennium. And they're looking at the Goonies map. And, you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but Sean Astin needs his inhaler and stuff. So there is a little bit of homage to stuff like that. So
what I've seen is that when we did Michael Jackson movies on a TV show, and that was it.
Now, the lass in the background, she has been in a lot of stuff. She was obviously famous for being the girlfriend of River Phoenix, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's in Mosquitoes Coast. I think the Running on Empty, I think, was the love spark between her and River Phoenix. Not saying that, it would have been... but she's appeared in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been in the X-Files, though. Just saying.
Again, I think I'm ahead of yours again, I think.
Just slow it down, man. Well, would you just not hold your feet up?
I just don't think he could have held on to him hard enough. I think it would have easily been a pull away. But you know what it is? Just a movie.
I know. But that is flat out murder, that mind, though. What I've just seen.
I was going to say, that's quite a stunt.
Bloody hell, man.
You think it's weird that Corey Feldman next project called 13 Fanboy?
That's the Friday the 13th one, isn't it?
It is, but it's just weird how the director's actually called Deborah Voorhees.
He goes around killing everyone.
Yeah. It's all the survivors, isn't it?
There's no way he uses the mappy thingy
He's
majig.
just getting the map out now.
Alright. Did you see that really
Literally
bad
one,
Depositing on that. We had the medallion thing.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a medallion out. They're just looking at the map at the moment.
Wasn't someone selling the map at the fucking HorrorCon, Carl, and they were wanting a fortune for it?
Yeah, it was like a proper made one. You bet you if you go on SD, you'll probably find loads.
If you go on eBay, you can get like a key, yeah, and a frame for like £25. That looks really good, like 3D printed one and painted and stuff.
But I don't think you'll get this one, Mason. But Paul, do you not think it's quite interesting how, like, this is how you use good storytelling. So in this film, if they hold the key up to a certain location, which granted most definitely has to have changed in all the years through erosion and things like that, but obviously it matches up perfect in how they generally, for more of a serious tone, tried to get away with that in Star Wars with the whole mystical night, where the whole lines up perfect, and it's just like this is in this film it works so well because it's got that cheese to it, and it's so sad to think like all these years later someone thought that's a good idea, we'll do something like that.
No,
it's just MacGuffin, isn't it?
Well, I just want to point out there as well, this is so cold except for their coats. It's, you know what I mean, there's no colour in this except for...
But that's the character. I love that age on like anything like 80s. I feel like an 80s film just looks 80s.
I wonder what the connection is with Prince. I wonder what the connection is with Prince, because obviously Feldman is a massive Michael Jackson fan.
Purple Rain.
And he's wearing Purple Rain, aye?
Yeah.
Because back then it was like you could, like people can, like Mitch loves Prince and Michael Jackson. And I'm more of a, I do like as well, but back then it was kind of like, who do you like better, Prince or Michael Jackson? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's like them days was either Sega or Nintendo. You can have one, you can have both. Yeah. You have your own little gang.
I've got to go on record and say Mickey J is definitely better than Prince, but I appreciate Prince.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's just Michael Jackson got way more hits.
My favourite one when he was reading A.T. to Convivial.
We got Mitch that for his birthday, you know, a picture, a T-shirt of Michael Jackson and E.T.
He did this, not a soundtrack, you know, those finals in the tape cassettes where please turn over now when he heard this noise, and Michael Jackson was going, and Michael Jackson was doing this yeah, he was like going, E.T. was running home, and he was looking for someone, blah blah blah, and he found Elliot. But if ever see it, or hear it, I think on YouTube.
I just want to also go on record as I actually have what I would say identical sleeve protectors that he's wearing right now.
Looks like someone from Hostel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Picked outfit for Hostel.
God, she is just terrifying her.
It's such a good casting though, because like I say, when you see the two boys, and like there's many scenes in this film where you can see where they're getting a little bit irate, and she just sort of like just pretty much strikes them down as a proper mother, and you'd be genuinely scared of her. I know it's not, but it somehow reminds me of the bad guy's mother in Kindergarten Cop. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to look at that picture to see if it's even remotely close.
Fucking flick knife, man.
Like an old lady threatening kids, you know what I mean? With a knife.
You wouldn't get that now. It would be like a 12 instantly. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Now the water as well. The slams down the water. It's like, who the fuck's gonna drink that? I think they all nail it. I think as a group, I think the four main ones have been well gelled. They've been well cast, I think.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, did they spend a lot of time together before the shot? Because they used to do that quite a lot, didn't they? With groups of kids, and they always like say, right, we want them to like play with each other for a while just to sort of get to know each other.
Well, I think one of the things I think was notoriously known for was, if we go back to Stand By Me, was the split between the age groups. You know, the Kiefer Sutherland and that gang, and then like the younger gangs and all that. And like it was like kind of like trying to keep them out of trouble, because like these guys have still got to go to like school during the day in some form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. So they're going to be long days, but obviously, again, when if you look at the town they've sort of invaded on, they would have just took it over. I mean, it's the 80s. Do you know what I mean? No one's going to know they're there, and there's no viral like social media to go fucking hell. They're filming up there, and like everyone powers down. You know what I mean? So. But drink and drugs come into it a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's filthy business.
Filthy business. Filthy animal. I do apologise if you can hear click, 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 click. A shadow on the wall, like the thing down there. Oh, creepy, creepy.
Great special effects and sloth like, isn't it? You don't expect to have like a monster in a film.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like in 1985 got the pictures watching this film? I would love to be around in the 80s watching all these films like for the first time.
I'm sure you're older than me, so. Oh.
I would have been 4 years old.
Aye.
No, he is an actual opera singer. And apparently it was his idea, I think. I'm sure I read that was his idea to sing the opera. Which is interesting because he doesn't strike you as someone who's opera.
I think just that Italian heritage, and he's definitely got Sicilian in him, I think.
I used to have a game on the Spectrum. Was it Spectrum or Commodore? There was a Goonies one.
Wasn't there a Goonies 2 game though as well? It was that popular.
Yeah.
I never played them once.
They're all for like the Game Boy and shit though, weren't they?
I had a Game Gear.
Sega. With Cool Spot.
For fucking 5 minutes before the battery took out your fucking your power.
Yep. You can tell how cold they are. They're like.
I mean, all this would have had to been like dubbed, wouldn't it? Because it'd be windy as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, I wonder what a transfer on the 4K is going to look like. I wonder how it's going and do a lot of
Oh,
work
look, guys, you can see the camera crew in the reflection of the car. Someone was wearing a bright yellow jacket, and it was not Mikey standing in shot. Probably not get another angle of that, but yeah, it'll be much more clear in that.
It looks so absolutely freaking cool there, doesn't it?
That's what I say. It's a very drained movie, I think, all the way through.
It's like a rainy Saturday afternoon. I guess.
Now, I actually went to see this for my birthday last year, thanks to Brittany, to surprises Manchester with a live orchestra, which was interesting. Until Chunk spills his beans to the Fratellis, and it was out of time.
Oh,
But again, it was only for about 10 minutes before it was break. But yeah, amazing experience, big hall. But again, wasn't sold out. You know, there was a lot of seats.
yeah, I could say, to be honest with you, I didn't even know anything about it. Which one did you go and see with Jack?
That was Jurassic Park. That was sold out. That
Yeah, so the Jurassic Park was the one I wanted to go and see, but that was sold out. I think it wasn't until like maybe the night when you went. I think it must have been either yours or British Post, and I was like, wait a minute, when did this happen? Because I literally for a second would get really mad because I thought if that's local, I'll be so pissed. And And then obviously I realised it was Manchester. I was like, ah, it's fine.
I didn't know anything about it. She surprised me with a trip, the hotel. She made a little treasure chest. She drew the picture of the Goonies, which I literally discarded almost straight away. I was like, oh, that's nice print, not realising she had fucking drawn it. And then later on that day, Corey Feldman wished us happy birthday, which was fucking crazy as fuck.
Price that in the mail.
That's a great jump scare.
You fish on the rake. I'm a little bit ahead of yous again. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
But you've got this relationship with Andy and a mate there that is very Stranger Things. You know, like...
Whoa, what are you saying? Take that back. You cannot say the Goonies is very Stranger Things. Stranger Things is very Goonies.
Oh, yeah, you know
you
what
cannot
I mean.
fucking...
Anyone with half a brain cell would know that's what I mean.
No, that's not what you said, Carl. Put your head down in shame.
Have you guys seen Stranger Things? I thought it was just me.
I've seen the first series to the last episode.
I'm nearly done.
I'm too busy watching Nicolas Cage films.
Before you kind of shamed us unacceptably, I might add, I was about to say that's one of the things I love about Stranger Things, that they happen to get a very earnest feel of the very 80s genre, because a lot of people try and play on this nostalgia 80s, which sometimes comes off too strong or just not accurate, whereas I think with that, it does a really good job. So yeah, I was just kind of trying to, you know, just encourage how people are doing it well, Mason. But
the Goldbergs do it well.
I've never seen any of that.
Oh, it's fucking good, the Goldbergs, like.
Goldbergs.
I've never seen any of the Goldbergs.
If you love 80s stuff, you have to watch Goldbergs. And I don't mean the wrestler.
I was thinking of the fat kid on Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
What about the wrestler?
Not fat, who is now like an absolute waste of heroin addict. It's just really sad to see.
Happens so, guys. Again, it's the climb. The fame is a big thing, but then when you like, you can't get work, or you know what I mean. I mean, like especially child actors. I mean, what happens if the age not very good? You know what I mean? And like,
the thing is, I don't even know if that's a good enough excuse, because to me, especially with the Mighty Ducks, a lot of them didn't go on to become actors. You know, a lot of them they played the part, but at the same time, some of them are now lawyers, some of them are now out of the business completely. With Goldberg, or I'm going to call him that, but he's the actor. I think he might have done a handful of things. I think he was in that American film. It's about the fat kids. The cover's quite infamous, where they're all holding a big like subway thing.
Oh, the heavyweights.
The heavyweight. Apparently, within that was Keenan. So that must have been a little bit of a rise for him, and that was after Mighty Ducks, I think. But no, I don't really think he had much of a career after that. I mean, that might have contributed to it, but it's not like he had a high.
I mean, any of the actors who played it smart in the 80s and didn't, like, what's the kid called from Flight the Navigator? Because he ended up in prison, didn't he?
He robbed the bank.
Yeah, but like, if he hadn't robbed the bank, right, and he had just went off and did a little bit of in university or whatever and went on to have a fucking family and all that good, he could have still, you know? Well, he could still do the comms now and make a fortune.
Yeah. Oh, because that's what everyone does. The cons essentially are people, you get like, I think if you had like an average of 10 guests, often enough when I've been to the ones, especially in Newcastle, they've all been like, you've got 2 or 3 pretty relevant stars, and then the rest of them, I mean, literally one of the Newcastle conventions I went to, I would say over half of the guest list were just little people who played, you know, Ewoks and Star Wars, which hats off to them. If that's the way they're making the money, brilliant. But when you look at it, I mean, I've always said with things like that, I feel like they should have at least a character name to justify going to a con. I don't think, like, imagine how many stormtroopers were used in Star Wars. I mean, it's just ridiculous how many people could just rock up and say, oh yeah, I was a stormtrooper. It's just like, how the hell is anyone going to prove it? There was that many people on set. No one was hired to be a stormtrooper half the time.
Yeah.
Most people were just like, "You light man, come over here a second." In fact, there's actually a really interesting thing about the infamous stormtrooper who bangs his head on the door when he walks through.
It was me.
There's legitimately 4 men out there to this day who all claim to be that stormtrooper, and they've got 4 very different stories about why they hit their head on a door. It's amazing, but clearly making a pretty decent living out of it at this point.
It was in the special edition they added the sound effect, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
They took it out and put it back in, and took it out and put it back in, and changed things around.
That sounds like
well,
me
I
and
think
Brittany.
they're trying to hide the fact that it happened.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen those things on eBay and Etsy and stuff like that? Like the newspaper from covers, but then obviously the Fratellis would be Fratelli Gang Escapes, and you can get them all printed out and framed and that. I've seen those ones on eBay and stuff like that.
Well, I've got 2 on my wall. One's the Amity Gazette for Jaws, and another one where it's reporting on the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
There's only one newspaper you should have, the Hammersmith Bugle. Come on.
True, but...
Come on.
True.
What's that off?
Lost Boys.
Go on, Paul. I'll let you have that one.
Lost Boys.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, guys. Like, seriously, bottom?
Bottom.
Was it a TV show?
Aye. Not as in my bottom.
That is newspaper worthy.
If they send us a picture of Ghostbusters, well, I think you already have, mate, but you've sent us again later on. Let's go and pop through.
Yeah, I wish I'd kept the... I mean, don't get me wrong, like you say, you said yourself, SG and eBay and stuff like that, but there was one in... when I went to the con, the guy had a card, and I'm sure I picked one up, I don't know where it is now, but literally he had 2 tables, and there was so many of them. Everything from from the Richard Donner Superman film to the newer Superman films, like any film that's really relevant in the last 10 years, you had so many different versions. Yeah. Nice place.
I love the lighting on Sean Astin's eyes there.
It's really good. Yeah. I was about to say, guys, go quick toilet.
I've already gone to the toilet. We're going to hear him, aren't we?
See, this is quite a disturbing scene, really, for Chunk right now. You know, the fact that they all just shoved him in the locker with this dead body.
I know, I haven't got time to let him out. I mean, again, it's just a movie, it's a plot device, but...
It is, but... I mean, to be fair, I reckon the group of kids I grew up with, I reckon it would have helped out. I certainly think I would have gone back, but then, like I say, we've all seen the Fratelli mom, and nobody wants to get caught off her.
She's fine, she's fucking terrifying, yeah.
Did the body just blink? I'm not sure. Is it even a person? Well, I'm going to hold that. I'm going to take that back. It's definitely a person, but if it was a dummy, it would be quite convincing.
And now the adventure really starts. So I think, to be honest with you, it's quite it's a very, I think, believable. Like, it's not a coincidence of how they've all ended up there. It's kind of like, I think it's been well structured to this point to get them to this point. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that is a genuine slap. Apparently, she was asked to hit him as hard as she could. So apparently, just as a bit of acting there. Apparently, Richard Donner said, "I want you to hit, like, really go for it."
What were films of Richard Donner done? Superman.
Lethal Weapons.
Was it The Omen?
Lethal Weapon.
Omen Eye. The Omen Eye. Maverick.
Yeah, some good up there. Some good ones.
He's did quite a few weird ones though. He produced The Lost Boys.
Nah.
What?
You did.
No. That's my word.
Sorry, just cut me out. Joel Schumacher died, didn't he, bless him?
Yeah.
You did.
Then I deleted the footage, didn't I, Carl, on our podcast?
You did, aye, that's right, yeah. He did some Richard Donner just to going on some of the stuff he did. Two-Fisted Tales, which was a TV movie. Wonder if that was a Channel 5 one on late night. Although I was meant to mention before, he also did Scrooge. And for Telly Mom, she was in it as well apparently. Just based on before when we're talking about what she'd done or what she hadn't done.
He came along late though, didn't he? I mean, come on. I mean, Richard Donner's 90 now, so he would have been in his fucking mid-60s when he made this. Sorry, maybe his late 50s.
Well, his first directed job was an episode on Zane Grey Theatre, which was in 1960. That was his first directed job.
As a kid, did you always want to have like data as gadgets?
I was never that impressed.
No.
I mean, I know they're supposed to be shit, but at the same time, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, I don't know. I suppose my answer's no. It was just like, if he had some cool stuff, it was just like.
Yeah. He's up to do where Chunk gets kidnapped. Spoiler.
He just being revealed that it's the Fratelli brother in the car.
Yep, cool. I'm only a few seconds ahead. Mint. Dead bodies, man. Dead bodies in Land Rovers.
Red lights and
I was
creepy.
just saying when you went to the toilet, I said, when Chunk was locked in the freezer with a dead body, I thought that's quite like a traumatic thing to go through as a kid. Obviously, it's just a movie, but just in the sense of like, that's some pretty heavy stuff to deal with. Like.
Yeah, and if they tell your mother with knife to the throats and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, no wonder he quit acting.
I mean, this bit is ludicrous considering that they would only be under like the Fratellis now.
This is like a montage, isn't it? Really.
With the fucking toilet breaking up the sprinklers, it's
Montage.
because it's been quite dark for a while.
Yeah, it's definitely taking itself a bit more serious, yeah. And then it goes back to that kind of adventure of a babysitter, kind of crazy antics.
It's when it gets all speeded up. I love that. I love when it crank it up a little bit.
Again, simple gags, you know what I mean? There's no need for him to go flying back like that.
I know, but I'm chuckling. You know what I mean? So it works.
Oh, soap on a rope.
Yep.
I mean, there's a pirate there. I mean, that's a bit overkill. Is that One-Eyed Willie?
Random, like,
You shit yourself if that happened, like.
Porkies.
Now, you can totally see the line, can't you, when he's going up on the shot here, though? You can actually see the break in the wall, what lifts him up.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek 5.
Not as in the water coming up, but there's a very similar scene to it in Critters, isn't there?
Yeah, look. You can see the bar taking him up, man.
The worst thing is actually reading the magazine about guns and ammo.
Guns and ammo, yeah.
In a school, aye.
What
Great.
manly thing you can find.
Now, I mean, again, though, this goes back to me and Paul's friendship for ages, because there's a film I've seen around this time, and then it was around this era, and like I remembered it, and everyone I ever fucking talked to were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because you say the Goonies to everyone, and oh yeah, Goonies, unless again you're David Johnson or a Sluggy, but like there was a film I remember, and it was just about the kid going to the lake. And he kept seeing the bubbles and he was intrigued by it, and then it was a massive fucking tractor head that came out, a digger head, and I was like, oh, I totally remember that movie, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Paul Ray just went, oh, it's fucking Frogs Dreaming, it's also known as the Go Kids, and like that to me, it was just like, again, this sign of adventure, and what's even more mind-blowing is it's actually Elliot from E.T., it's a movie he took after E.T., Henry Thomas, yeah, and it's all filmed in Australia. And it's, I mean, that is something that I would like to see appear on one of these. I mean, it'd be a great one for Arrow, but it's all about, it's just about that mystery, you know what I mean? That coming of age, you know what I mean? Going out in the world, and but that's quite a dark film. Have you ever seen it? Like,
not many people know about it.
well, yeah, it was, I mean, it was the Go Kids, but obviously it got packaged to look like the Goonies, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
When really it's the Dunok, like the fucking. Yeah, I love it, Carl. Have you ever heard of it? Like, I've got it on DVD, but it's an import.
Fog Dreaming, yeah.
Oh, The Quest. Oh, it's called The Quest as well. Yeah, it's got 3 different fucking names.
I was going to say, funny enough, I've never heard of it, but when you say The Quest, it kind of rings a bell.
It's not Van Damme.
Not the Van Damme one, of course.
I love the. It's not here, is it? Is it later on when he's on about the. This is Michael Jackson calling his house. He mentions the Gremlins, doesn't he?
Yeah, on the telephone to the police officer.
And again, that's great. Like, I mean, that's the kind of shit that makes Ready Player One jizzworthy. I wonder if there's a Goonies thing in Ready Player One.
Not off the top of my head, but I reckon. See, now I don't know. Like, I think if you use the term overhyped, it's your own fault.
Sorry.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that directly to you, but I hear that quite a lot with films. And in terms, I do agree sometimes. I do think in the world of today, I think when someone said, "Oh, it was okay, but it was well overhyped," I was like, well, yeah, but you made that conscious decision to believe that it was going to be amazing. Just watch something and enjoy it.
One thing I need to do is watch it again.
What, Ready Player One? There's fucking loads in that.
I like it, but to be honest with you, I'm not a book guy, and I think a lot of I wouldn't say the grief that it got, because you're right, it is one of those films that was really like built up, but I do think that it's a lot to do with the fact that there are some pretty significant things that happen in the book that these guys either changed or didn't use. So I feel like obviously it's that old tale time of, you know, if you're going to make something out of the book, you've got to kind of like, I don't know, either make it from the book's adaptation or say this is my take on the story.
Licensing though, wasn't it? Because Star Wars is in the book, but he couldn't. But George Lucas had sold it to Disney.
Yeah, Disney didn't want to use it.
But like,
wasn't
it the same with the Ghostbusters thing? Didn't it have the Ghostbusters car, but it didn't have the logo?
I can't remember.
I know the Pork Chop Express is in it.
Yeah, I think they changed the license plate on the Ecto car, so it was clearly, you could look at it, it's clearly Ecto 1. But I think there is a shot where you see the license plate and it's not Ecto 1, and I think someone said something about the fact that you can't see any like Ghostbusters logo or anything like that.
This is going totally off topic, like, where's this new bloody trailer supposed to be out? Anyway.
Well, you know, I had doubt that it might not happen, you know, because that bit of news wasn't really new. That was like literally the bit of news that was released at the beginning, like before COVID started. So there was always that chance that those dates just weren't going to happen, and they just decided not to use it, because I don't think they will. If it's not going to be out until next year, they're going to want to hold the trailer for a much later date.
Going back to the Goonies and the Gremlins reference, again, the Explorers, I always talk about Explorers, I love that film so much. In the newspaper, it says UFO spotted over blah blah blah. Then it says Kingston Falls has its worst night of riots and stuff. And obviously, Joe Dante did both films, so it's a bit of a reference again.
Well, it's like in the Burbs.
I love when they do same universe.
Well, the Burbs, when they've got the Gremlins cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're going back there. E.T. and Gremlins.
Yeah.
Because he's on the shelf, isn't he?
Get his head bitten off.
I mean,
those obviously.
I think we should do Gremlins. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know exactly what you're on about, but I do find it's one of those films I haven't seen for a very long time.
I'm up for doing Gremlins 1 and 2, like, I mean, I love them. I love them a bit. But again, I haven't... Again, what's quite weird, I've always been a bit skitchy about Warner Bros. Because when I first started doing the podcast, I did the free Lost Boys, and I got a copyright claim for Cry Little Sister on the first one. That's fine. Lost Boys 2. But with my original recording for Lost Boys 3, YouTube wouldn't even let us unlock it. Because obviously that, again, getting used to the audio, because again, the algorithm just thought it was the fucking film. And it was always Warner Brothers I've struggled with, you know what I mean? That's why this is completely stripped of audio, it's just us chatting. But again, I obviously I've put off doing the Goonies, I've put off doing the Gremlins. Again, it's worked, because at least I'm not revisiting them again, do you know what I mean? But Gremlins, we definitely need to do Waterworld. That's becoming the inner joke at the moment. And that branching out episode we're meant to record as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, stuff like that. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't did the proper, like, you know, when all this trouble's over with. Like, this wait for Goonies and Gremlins and those classic ones be in person together. I mean,
I'm going to say that there are going to be films out there that I think are going to work really well if we do it in person. But I mean, at this stage,
classic ones.
Well, the thing is, I find it interesting. I mean, I don't know if you've done it yet, Mason, but it could be quite a fun video if you want to do, is actually play the Goonies board game.
Well, I played it.
You do get it in the 35th anniversary, and I've never played it.
Well, if you watch the video of me and Paul Ray, I actually play that with Abraham, which is a bit scary.
Right, okay.
There's an outtake of me playing with myself, and it's not. But again, it's kind of like I tried working out the rules of it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I think we should definitely establish before it goes too far how again it works so well because of the tone of this film, but the clear fact that those bats are all on Peter the String being dangled in front of the actors is fantastic.
It looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, clearly you're looking at it and you think it looks nothing like bats really, but in the same respect, you're sitting there going, I'm not mad at it either. You know, I'm still looking at it thinking, yeah, this is the Goonies, it's fine.
I love it when you go to the fountain and there's all the money there, and they go, oh my god, they found the treasure. Awesome, and then you realise it's not the treasure, it's like...
One Eye Willie's actual treasure, yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually, it's just wishing well, isn't it?
Don't know what it is to you guys though, but like back at Allen's Ford used to have a little bit of a well, which is long gone, and even the one at Sycamore Gap's gone. Like I've never seen like a wishing well properly like that. You know what I mean?
No.
I mean they all get blocked up now because next thing you know there's a kid down one of them. Do you know what I mean? Whoops, fell down there. But
where the Merton used to have them.
Yeah, the Merton used to have them in the village, but people used to start nicking the money, man. All the fucking kids trying to get buses home. Yeah, well, exactly. It was right next to the arcade.
This is a little. I mean, I think I might be a little bit behind myself, right? But this is a kind of a glimpse of Corey Feldman's acting skills.
Oh, yeah.
When he's talking about taking his wish back because he never got his wish, and I just thought for a second, I'm actually like thinking, shit. This kid can act like...
Corey Feldman can act, but he kind of like... What are you going to say, Paul?
Didn't he also do this speech again recently? Was it on like Goonies Reunited or something?
He did his Spanish bit.
Again.
I think he did the Spanish thing in the Reunited, but I can't remember him doing the will.
I remember
chances are he might have done it because...
With a speech, yeah. I remember one time, I don't know what, it was on some YouTube thing.
Yeah. The Birthday is one of Feldman's more recent best films. He's a fucking amazing in that. But like, he's classing this. He's classing Lost Boys. He's fucking tremendous in Stand By Me. But his performance always gets overshadowed by River Phoenix, because River Phoenix, that scene when River Phoenix confesses about the milk money, is just unbelievable. You know what I mean? And that's one of like, you look at that and you look at My Own Private Idaho and you fucking think, fucking hell, River is such a loss. But again, like Feldman, like coming in the 90s, obviously he had these, he bounced back, he came back, and like, but again, he just had to go where the money was going, and like people were paying for him and Corey Haim to do it. And the thing is about it, everyone gets Corey Haim and Corey Feldman mixed up. Do you know what I mean? and that was one of the problems
Yeah.
Feldman had. And I would love to see him given a big comeback role, and like even like Tarantino or that so much, because it would be good to see him on a big scale again.
I think he kind of invested. I mean, obviously he's doing okay per se as far as the career goes. You know, he's not a short a couple of quid, but the reality is though, I think he's invested in being that person now that I can't unsee that. You know what I mean? Like I say, when a lot of people ask me what would he like to meet, and everyone was saying, oh, was he totally mental? Was he totally off the board? And they're always really surprised when I say no. He was actually just a really nice dude, and he had a nice little conversation. I managed to get him to quote Donatello, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, it was a weird kind of, I expected him to be a little bit mental and a little bit like out there. And I personally think we got the better of him, Stephen, because obviously we do hear a lot of stuff what happened long after we met him. You know, like him knocking the prices up on the signing, him turning up even later in the second day and stuff like that.
One of the best things... I was going to say, Carl, one of the best things about Feldman was when we were Killian filming that scene for Killian's book with the vampire from Munster Squad.
Yeah.
And Feldman just appeared behind you, dead casually. He gave Brittany a hug, stopped. No, he stopped and had a conversation with everyone. And then he went, I'm just going to go and do some shopping. And it was the most casual fucking passing. Like we were filming this thing. He was more interested to see what we were doing with a guy from fucking Munster Squad.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was dead.
I found it quite funny because I think there was a glimpse. I think it was when, what was it? You were getting something signed for Gillian. I think Killian. And you dropped the book.
Yeah.
In that moment, it was really weird because it was very awkward as well. Because I turned around and I looked at it, and he was just stood there getting like everything packed up and that. And I turned around and said, "Oh, is there a website that I can look into for these CDs? Because I don't really see them." And he obviously didn't hear that. All he heard was, "I want to buy your CD." So literally, he was already like asking for me money before I'd even gotten like to say. I go, "Oh, no, I don't have the money now, but I just wondered if there's a website." He then obviously told us the website, but he was like really nice and just kind of casually chatting. Where I feel like a lot of actors I've met have all been great kind of experiences, but at the same time, I could also call back on moments, not for me, but I can call back on moments where once they step away from the table, like you don't approach them. They're either trying to get to somewhere else or they're kind of doing this as their break.
Yeah,
Like happy just to stand and chat. But we went shopping. That was brilliant because it's just like the person who owned that first stall must have been laughing his ass off because it suddenly went from being like 2 or 3 people looking at these stalls to like Corey Feldman standing on the other side of the bench and everyone just kind of swarmed over.
I think they give him everything he picked up just for them photos. He did a couple of... I think that was pre-arranged, that, because I think that... I'm not going to name check them because I know who the site is, but it's kind of like... there was definitely some pre-arrangement there for that.
Yeah. Smart move, like.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I'll tell you who was really canny as well. Jameson Eulander. He was really cool as well for the other Frog brother.
Yeah, well, this is it, though, because I was like, look, I'm thinking, I think we even turned around and said at the time, was like, oh, he's probably never going to come over. We're never going to really see him. But then, obviously, this whole announcement with the Lost Boys and everything, and didn't you get like? Did you say you were going to go for a different poster? Had you known he would coming over? I can't remember.
I mean, don't get us wrong. I'm really happy that I've got my Lost Boys free poster signed by them too now.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I would have probably. There's no point getting a Lost Boys poster signed by everyone because you're not going to get everyone with him passing away and stuff. So I'm glad I got stuff to.
But also, like to have them on the picture as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Lost Boys, you don't get any of the characters really, other than certain ones.
Now he was a football player, Sloth, wasn't he? Sloth.
Slide.
No.
Slide, yeah. He was another one, and he didn't do very much. It's not like he had a massive career after this.
I've
always wondered what a Baby Ruth would
You've
taste
just took the words out of my mouth. I actually tried one when I was in LA on camera, and it's quite peanutty. And my face, I think I nearly sucked my lips in the back of my mouth because there was so much salty. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like Twinkies.
It's not like a fucking...
I've had a Twinkie and that's just sugar and sugar.
That's him in Die Hard when he gets, it's from my wife. Yeah. She's pregnant. Yeah. Bag it. Well, he's got like fucking 6 Twinkies.
Because obviously our food is our chocolate's a lot sweeter than American sweets, isn't it? Like chocolate.
Well, it's like
America has creeped over and ruined everything.
Well,
sorry, any American views.
Spotted that.
Well, it's when I got to New Zealand, I couldn't wait to get a crunchy, and I hate chocolate, but crunchy bars in New Zealand are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to order it.
Different.
I was trying to order 2 cans of LMP the other day, Carl.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad must send them over, like.
My dad's going to send us some over, but like I just found it on Amazon and it was something like 16 quid postage.
Really? Yeah. Well, I was going to say that's something that you might find in the sweet shop, downstairs from the cinema.
No, I think it. No,
they do a lot of American cans and that.
It's totally a New Zealand thing, LMP, I think.
Yeah. That's Brittany's favourite one, isn't it?
Well, it's nice that like Brittany's trying to take in the fact just sitting in New Zealand, and I'm like, here, try this.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Do you think this obviously this is a middle act in the film? Do you think it goes quick, or do you think it goes a bit slow, or what?
I think it has to be that.
Down a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down, but you need that bond. But again, it's kind of. It's an odd character to put in, isn't it?
I could say if this was made in the modern day, I could say literally none of that time being used. I would have said when he was crying and then he got thrown in with Sloth, it would have been from there, and I could totally imagine it being like them turning up at the end. You wouldn't have gotten any of those scenes. I think people would have just cut them out and said, nah, I don't need that.
Aye, throwing the fact that he's been killed or something.
Yeah. It's funny though because obviously Bellman had mentioned in his autobiography that him and that Patty didn't get on, which obviously is strange because I always feel like it's kind of played well as a kind of a love-hate relationship going on there. And it's just like, it always saddens me. I think that's kind of the reason why I sometimes like to leave, kind of behind the scenes, literally where they are, because like, you sit there and you hear stories about actors who are like really good together, but then someone will turn around and say, oh yeah, but it was absolutely nightmare on set, they hated each other, and it kind of just leaves a bad taste after that. I find it hard to, kind of... It's
one of those things, I think, I think it's that Hollywood circle, because like, they're all... Well, they all would have known each other, you know what I mean? And it'll kind of like, you know what I mean? Because Feldman at this time, I'm sure, was dating Drew Barrymore.
Right.
Maybe it was in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, it would have been the same age.
Oh.
But I mean, she's a teenager, so I can imagine Corey Feldman being a bit much. So I can imagine it being like, oh, the level of Corey Feldman, he's trying to turn him down.
I know it's sticking up for Corey Feldman. You've got to remember, he was a 2-year-old. He was on the fucking Christmas advert for McDonald's every year.
Yeah.
All of America knew who he was because he was a kid from McDonald's. I mean, we didn't get it, but like everyone knew who he was before he even knew his own fucking name.
Yeah. Paul, who would you be in this group?
Me?
If you had to be one of the characters, I'm interested.
I don't know, actually. Let me see a chunk.
Well, I was going to say, not because I'm the chunky one, but I reckon as a kid I'm definitely chunk. I'll be a little bit more centric and I'll be too, I'm funny because I go, in very quiet spaces, but then sometimes if I'm in the right crowd, I can kind of let loose a little. So I feel like I would definitely be chunk. What about you, Mason?
Paul Ray's going to say I'm going to be dating, aren't you, Paul Ray?
No, I'm going to say you're soft.
I don't know. Well, it probably would be the Feldman kind of character because he's just fucking angry at everything as a kid, and I definitely was a little angry kid, like.
Yeah.
Because obviously I didn't have... I wasn't a brother until I was like 13. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't have that older sibling as a kid. So we were talking about related to, do you know what I mean? But again, it's like almost like the cast of Police Academy. If you look back at the ensemble of an ensemble cast, Data's the one with the gadgets, Feldman's the fucking cheeky one, Chunk's the one who's just always stupid, Sean Astin's more the sensible, like, discovery, you know what I mean? Curious and heart, yeah. Josh Brolin's more like when you're that age, you want to be at his age, you want to be going on the adult and the curiosity of girls and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's a come of an age movie, I think.
Yeah, totally.
I love this bit here with the whole shh.
Give me some sugar, baby. I don't know, I said I looked for film, but I always think that this part here is always like the slowest for some strange reason.
Oh yeah, it's really slowed down, like. I mean, the Goonies isn't really a laugh out loud comedy though, is it? It's like an adventure. Ooh. 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 We're at 1:15. It might be sluggy. It might have been sluggy, like.
That's true.
Are we all alright?
Yeah, we're still there.
Yeah, fine.
I found this a bit of a weird scene. You know, like, it kind of doesn't really contribute anything to the story. It's probably like just a throwaway gag, you know. But she's got to know that the difference between him and fucking Brolin. I'm not being funny, like, but he's a child. Brolin's like a bit of a muscular beast.
Was he, well, I mean, she does say, was he standing in a hole? I didn't realise he had braces. You know what I mean? It's a bit hidden in there, but like, I mean, again though, it's meant to be pitch black. She's got the Bray Wyatt lamp, but like again, it's just been nicely lit with that golden look. But I love the waterfall. But again, all this would have had to been re-recorded, like, because you wouldn't have been able to hear shit in there. You remember when you're in Wet and Wild and you're in that bit with you can't hear shit. What did you say?
As a deaf person who has to get hearing aids out.
What's he saying?
I've got very little historical facts, so I'm going to throw with the disabilities in.
Oh no, we haven't had any budgets or facts or waiting on the rare ratings. I know what it's going to be. How many one-eyed willies? How can you? How the fuck can you pluralise one-eyed willies?
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's like you can tell it's like a set, but it looks really good. You know what I mean? It's not like. You know what I mean?
You totally don't believe that this is real, but at the same time, I mean, look at that skull. You know what I mean? Like it's such a nice, fun kind of. It is like what you find on the TV series Nightmare.
So, me have Rocky IV and with Tom Cruise.
You're breaking up, Paul.
Oh, you went all robot again.
So in 1985, we've had Back to the Future, a Rocky IV Legend with Tom Cruise, Command, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Eve, A New Begin, To a Kill, Breakfast Club, Enemy Mine, Explorers.
Enemy of Mine's a fucking weird one, mind. Is that the one where he gives birth to himself or something?
To another creature, yeah. Dennis Quaid, that one. Rambo First Blood Part 2, Clue, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Jewel of a Nail, Teen Wolf, Spies Acres, Daryl, Police Academy 2, Death Wish 3, Life Force, Weird Science,
Life Force
European
is amazing.
Vacation, Bruce's Millions, Fright Night, Jesus Christ.
Big year.
Colour Purple. A few big
If you
ones
consider all those action films, yeah, it's bold to come out with a piece, a masterpiece, I might add, for music, for the video is that we don't need another hero. You know, I mean, just gotta say, out of all the 80 songs, that's pretty much up there, like, to me.
When I think about the Carl, have you read Feldman's biography?
I have not read all of it.
Right.
I've read very large snippets of it, which I've kind of held off, because to be honest with you, I'm not a big reader. I'd rather listen to an audio.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd rather him tell me, but...
No, it's just mainly because in Feldman's biography he talks about Paul Rubin and sitting next to Paul Rubin out on the back lot, and Paul Rubin was filming Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and you know how they do that scene where they're running around the back lots and you have the Godzilla crossover and stuff.
Yeah.
Paul Rubin was actually wanting Feldman and the Goonies to be in it and cross them over, but I don't think the studio... I don't think that because it was Tim Burton's first film, and if you think about that now, and you fucking think like, fuck me, like the Goonies appear in Pee-wee's Big Adventures, like a crossover and all that, it would have been fucking class. But again, because it was filming out the back, I'm still hoping for Will Smith and Martin.
Throwaway, but it would have worked really well.
Well, again, I'm still waiting for Martin Lawrence and Will Smith to turn up and come to America too. I hope that happens.
Oh, I wanted to be the other way around, to be honest with you. I was waiting for that in Bad Boys. I was like, oh, they're going to do something. They're going to be behind, like, in a shot somewhere.
Yeah.
In the background, but...
The cinema was coming straight at like Netflix or something.
It's scheduled for December, isn't it?
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I've not seen, I mean, there's a lot of, like, obviously, as we know with COVID-19 now, obviously a lot of films are being thrown behind that. If it is due for this year, it's definitely not happening, because like there's so many films like now that at least about 6 or 7 films that should have been released either by now or in the next couple of weeks. So if it was scheduled for December, I would say it almost definitely won't be released this year.
It depends what the pictures want to do, because the idea at the moment is there's no one going to be sitting in a ratio of the cinema seats. So if that's the case, cinemas are going to opt to have that film on every possible fucking screen so they can get as much people in to see it that week. And like, you know what I mean, you'll probably find it hard to have another film on the screen, because that's what they might have to do to get the numbers in, especially if Black Widow is one of the first ones forward, you know what I mean?
Well, the first film released since COVID-19 was meant to be Unhinged, which I don't know a lot about it, but it's a Russell Crowe film. And then after that, it's supposed to be Tenet. So that's why a lot of people, especially with Tenet, because Nolan, I think it's more of I want to be the first film released. I want to be the reason everyone's going to flock to cinema. Of course he does, because it's going to make a shit ton of money. It was always going to make money, but the fact that if you have such a big film like that, and then it's going to be the first film that cinemas are going to play, it's going to make a lot of money.
I know, but it's also going to be on until fucking ages. They'll want to get as many showings in as possible as well.
I personally think, just based on scheduling, I honestly think that because of this point of the year, we should just forget new releases for 2020. I say play what they're doing now. Like, for example, although I've been very strict on lockdown, even though you can go out to certain people's houses and go to certain places, I personally choose not to. I have booked tickets to go and see Empire Strikes Back in Durham next Friday. But I think maybe just play some classics. You know, you've got a Nolan trilogy coming out. You've got Interstellar coming back out. There's quite a few films being reshown. I'd say play that. Yeah, I say do that and forget about new releases for the next couple of months, because it's just not worth it. Scheduling processes, it's costing a fortune.
I'd say the Goonies come out in 4K at the pictures, definitely. I'd rather see all the films in the moment.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I mean, I can't imagine the amount of havoc it's playing on Hollywood now, because any film that's released in 2021 is now going to have to reschedule their shows and stuff like that. So it's literally going to take, I know it sounds silly because movies aren't the priority really, but in theory it's probably going to take about 2 years nearly just to fix scheduling issues because of how many films are going to be like expected to be released. And we all know in the business it's quite a difficult thing just to say, right, let's just release a film. You can't just pull a film out at any time of the year, because some films are only going to make money if it's released in the summer. Some films will only make money if it's a certain point of year. So,
are you guys want to see the pirate ship?
we're down the slide.
Down the slide now.
I'm sure it is a commentary or read somewhere. The first time I seen the ship was
the scene, yeah.
It was a scene, but they had to do a retake because everyone swore.
Yeah. So I was just looking at that actually, and apparently the word shit and bullshit is uttered 19 times in this film, and that's not including the part when Data says holy shit. So there's quite a few naughty words in this film.
Paul loves naughty words, don't you, Paul?
What?
You love naughty words, don't you, Paul?
Apparently, yeah. That's what I used to say.
As cold as that looks, I would totally go down that slide.
Oh, I mean, that should be an open pool, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, it's a swim pool, but yeah, it looks like a pirate cave. I would totally do that. I hate going to swim baths and having, like, you go in there and there's lanes for designated swimmers or whatever, and then you get the arrogant guy who wants to go up and down and everyone's trying to dodge him, like fucking dodgems. I want to go to a swim bath and fucking feel like the fucking fact, like there's a shark in the pool, there's some fucking crazy nostalgia. I want to go and feel like I'm on a beach or something, but no, bland, fucking military.
Well, Stanley swim baths used to be better. Yeah, I was going to say Stanley swim bath, they had 3 pools. You had the little kiddie one, the medium one, and the proper serious adult one. So we always used to play in the medium one, like, with the Stanley swim bath now is just obviously one big pool, and they do have a sectioned off for people who want to swim properly, but
no, it's not. It's a fucking nostalgia, you know what I mean?
And Concert has a big island, and that was always a bonus. The big inflatable island. You must have used that a few times, Mason.
Oh well, literally, I live right next door to the old Concert swim bath, man. Literally.
Yeah. So you didn't respond. I was like, where were we around about?
Well, the day it was getting knocked down, I was like, what the fuck's that noise? And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I went out because it was horrendous. And they were knocking the fucker down, so I went and filmed it. I did a retro VHS while I was getting knocked down in the background.
Really?
Aye.
See, the Concert swimming bath for me is it's cliche, but it is the more nostalgic thing of going in a swim bath, getting a whiff of chlorine, but then also smelling the chips that were upstairs. And it's just like, there's nothing more childhood than going to a swimming bath when you had, and they always had 2 arcade machines. I never remember what the games were, but you had 2 arcade machines, chips, and a swimming pool. And I mean, what else were you going to do on a Saturday?
Now, I need to talk about someone that's been cut from the movie, and that is an octopus scene.
You're kidding, aren't you?
I think you're worded.
What?
I was about to say like 10 minutes gun back, but we didn't talk about underpants and swimming.
Go on then, Paul. You tell us your octopus story. Tell us your story about Odell.
What was it? You were just going to say an octopus?
Was an octopus?
Was it money though?
No.
No, it's in.
In this scene, man.
It's been cut out.
That's a proper knicker shot there with Andy. I never noticed.
We're not looking at Nick. Stop talking about underpants and knickers, mate. We're talking about octopuses.
If I see more of them knickers, you might see an octopus.
Wow.
I apologise solely and
But yes, obviously at the end where I said, the octopus, and obviously when you watched it, what octopus were you on about? Then obviously when the DVD came out, I had a deleted scene of the octopus, but it just didn't work that well. It looked like the octopus from Popeye, the movie.
You know what it is? I fucking love that film. Gets a lot of hate, but I rewatched that. Robin Williams,
I like the
can't do
song.
no wrong.
Sweet Haven. So the Goonies was 19 million budget, and it grossed 124 million dollars.
Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment, like. But I would like to see how bad the octopus scene was. Sorry, I'll go back to that because I'm just thinking, because the effects aren't necessarily being.
It's on the extra features, isn't it?
To a certain thing. It's a storyboard, isn't it?
No, it's deleted scenes.
We'll watch that. We'll watch that when it's finished.
Yeah. I must have just blanked out because there's no way I didn't see it. If it's on the Blu-ray, I've watched all the special features.
I think what they should have done was, if they'd cut it, like, when you talk about Jaws and everyone talks about, oh, come down here and chump some of this shit. The thing what scares me about Jaws is when you see the shark when it takes a guy off the boat when they're in the pool. That's, I think, more terrifying. It'd be really cool if they had a shot and you saw the octopus, like in Anaconda, where you could see it in the water, but it was never acknowledged.
Its eyes, yeah.
That would really been creepy. But yeah, there he is, one-eyed Willie. It's weird as fuck because he's still got his eyeball as well.
Yeah, this is actually a genuine skull. It seems weird considering like the amount of props that must be used in this film, but apparently the skull for One-Eye Willie is a genuine human skull.
Is it borrowed from Poltergeist, is it? Like real dead bodies in a pool?
No, I think it was Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just kidding. That seems to be getting a lot of hate lately. Well, sidetracked, but Margot Robbie being in Pirates of the Caribbean, I think it's a smart move.
I think he's seen an eye. I mean, he didn't hear all them getting up there and no one needed a hand to get up there and he's just like, oh shit, sorry.
Yeah. See, this is also a nice scene for Sean Astin just to kind of play off himself.
Big scenes. I mean, I think everyone, like, Chunk's got it when he confesses, Feldman's got it in the pool, Data doesn't really have one, but I think they all deliver.
Yeah, this moment on the log with these slippery shoes.
Yeah, I give you that one, yeah, but I mean, no one's going to talk about what Sean Astin looks like right now, are we? Just move on, please. Not a word. Not a word, Paul.
Don't say anything. Don't do what I'm about. I'm like 2 minutes ahead of you.
Always ahead of the curve.
You know me. That's so funny.
Go on, bullion.
Pictures of me on his bowels.
Fatalities are after them, go for it.
It is a good set though with the ship and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
Well, this is it. I mean, like I say, it's, the effects of, like, it is a movie scene, you know. It is like you're on a set sometimes, and it's kind of a little bit fake, but truth be told, it's always been quite convincing, even for its age.
Gold coins,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, Jules and Bills did Feldman having his bloody mouth there. Bloody hell.
You're way ahead.
I mean, does everyone just go in that room and become deaf? I mean, she's had to open a fucking door. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
listen, us deaf people aren't always as recognisable, you know. They could all have AIDS.
wow.
Hearing
Hearing
aids.
aids, that is. Surely hearing aids. Don't know what else you were thinking of.
Yeah, Mason.
Paul Raids.
You Goonie.
That
Yeah,
was
their own disabilities are visible, you know.
Well, did you ever hear about Paul Ray? What was called the Paul Ray AIDS? When he wiped everyone out in the shop.
With dropping me off or something.
No, he was scratching around underneath the stairs and got like a virus, didn't you, Paul?
No, that was in Vertigo on me lip. But yeah, under the stair. Because I had a shave, and I had a tidy. Because when my pores were open, I got in Vertigo. But I think I probably got a COVID actually 10 years ago, actually. I'm not joking. I wiped
Paul is the origin of COVID-19.
You wiped the whole shop out?
Wiped the entire shop. Because I never rang in sick. I think I rang in sick once in 10 years. I wiped the entire shop out. Everyone was still over Christmas. That was final, because obviously it's gone by then, but I'm not enjoying. They still talk to it like it was 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Still talk to it this day. The Ray flu.
Nearly had to shut down one of the floors to get cover on the floor.
True. So do you think this would not work these days because it's boring?
Well, everyone had the phone, man. But like, everyone would be vlogging it.
Yeah.
That's probably boring enough. Just punch things.
God, she's like
You know what? Watching this obviously on HD, I don't know how it'll look 4K. It isn't some on HD looks really good. The pirate ship in the background looks really good.
The blue is really nice. It's quite sharp. Colours are definitely popping off the screen.
And the blue of the water. Like. One on me do and on me a bit of Superman.
Yeah. I just love how every bit of water in this film is so crystal clean and obviously very pure, except for the water that they were supposed to drink at the beginning.
Hey, you guys.
Watch the
Infamous.
reviews on to see what the transfer sites sometimes they have a quick look.
Even that shot was quite well done because it didn't look like he was strapped into much other than the actual rope he was holding onto.
With obviously that was no chunk on his back.
No.
That's alright then.
I want to know where they got the pirate hats from.
From a
Downstairs.
gift shop, one like Willie's gift shop. They buy those plastic swords.
So, hang on, Paul, which pop vinyls did they release? They didn't release them all, did they?
Yeah. The two girls and the Fratellis.
Jump rope.
I must pick up a new Superman t-shirt to just remind myself.
So you can walk into work like that and do that tomorrow. Get you some red strap-ons.
I'm not afraid of years.
I wasn't talking about them kind of strap-ons.
Right. It's for yours. What do you do?
It's called Mr. Reserve. That's what it is.
This is a bit sad, isn't it? With Sloth when she sings the lullaby about the cradle of fall. Then he touches his face.
He's still fighting in that scene there.
I'm 10 minutes ahead. I'm being emotional here.
Mate, the fucking pirate ship's escaped now. Richard Donner's come along the beach on his bike. That's how far ahead you are.
What was it again?
You can see the heat coming off that water.
I thought it was just the two people kissing in it.
How do you kiss like Paul?
Is it kissing, not kissing? I don't. Yes, on Now TV, it's it got 5 stars. It's a 12 certificate on here also.
Now TV Speed 2 got half a star.
That was probably me. I usually have to bit now for the lullaby.
Yeah, Mama, you been bad.
It's sad though because it explains a lot, doesn't it? It wasn't looked after.
You know, well, tortured soul, like.
Drop. Cha.
I think half is really quick. It's an like, I mean, good actors quicker.
What was that, Tunnel Ray?
And actors a lot quicker than the second. You know, the ending. It's
Yeah.
really quick.
Oh, the third act, it's like Doom. God, they just fucking hired that stunt guy there, didn't they?
One next to the rocks.
The fucking crazy ass dive.
Look like a Jimmy Snooker, move that.
Just a little bit more wrong jumping. Dun, 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 dun. Even the story alone, and they know where the ship is, they're gonna like get a fortune.
Yeah. See the way.
This is it. It sails away, but I mean, where does that like kind of
And who's gonna fight?
fall within the story? Because obviously we are talking about a myth and a legend, and of course, naturally, everything about this film has been pretty real. You know, you can see like there could have really been a ship, the booby trap could have really been set, but the whole idea of the ship just sailing away on its own, it kind of takes that last step into a more of a magical film, like a more of a, you know, the spirit of One Eye Willie has been set free now.
So there's a sequel for the Goonies. The ship that reappears from the Bermuda Triangle 30 years later, and they've got to go and find out what happened to the ship.
I don't think there's enough films out there that are based on the Bermuda Triangle.
Have you seen the film Triangle? Have you seen
No.
Triangle?
No.
It's a perfect loop. It starts about 15 minutes into the movie.
No.
Ooh, The Last Candle.
I love the casual.
He's such a nice guy, so
What do you mean helping? Still in the water.
I'm 10 hours ahead of his.
I could say a slot moved in with Chunk now on your copy.
Yes, I'm actually watching a sequel, by the way. We're doing a sequel.
I mean, they're the sequel. You know, Sloth being taken to a, let's just say, at a facility, and Chunk breaks him out, and then you've got a classic buddy cop film.
I'm going to have a look at that actor, Jeff, and find out. Goonies 2's actually got a picture on IMDb, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Fag one.
Like I say, it feels like it's something that's obviously kickstarted. Because I say it's announced, but obviously that could be anything now.
Let's just have a quick look. He has only been in 16 fucking movies.
Yeah.
I could do it. There's a lot of sponsorship on Domino's, Pepsi, Baby Ruths.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Surprised I didn't use Ben and Jerry's earlier on.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what it is now. It must be something like it must be either Amazing Stories when I've seen it on television as an episode, or that must be that.
Watch those Spielberg's Amazing Stories. They're really good.
It must be that. It must be that. It must be that. I've seen it on.
Made their own version of it.
That was Richard Donner, by the way, on the fucking quad.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't mention that this apparently, while auditioning for this film, is the infamous first meeting that Corey Feldman has with Corey Haim.
Him. Him. There's no S.
Hames.
Him.
Ah, the same thing, man.
Well, they'd heard of each other before, but yeah, this is the first time they actually met in the audition. Because obviously Corey at that point was, well, it's quite an unusual name then, but not now.
Yeah.
He's been in quite a few films. He's normally a bad guy.
I'm going to say I recognise him. I don't know who.
Data's dad. Data's dad.
Yeah,
No glasses on.
no.
I like how Chunk and has the same bloody t-shirt on. The Hawaiian t-shirt and the same top. Sponsored by Domino's Pizzas.
Domino's and Pepsi.
Oh, now I'm going to get pizza on Saturday. Stop it.
You're going to have the shit on Sunday, eh?
Yep. That's how you stay in shape, apparently.
What, eat shit and die?
Now, when did Chunk ask his parents to stop okay, with him?
He says it, doesn't he? When Clough reveals, he says, no, you're going to cut. Oh, I suppose you didn't ask his parents, but...
He hasn't asked his parents yet. I've got like a 40-year-old
It's just a movie.
I'm going to say, Paul, what would you like Clough's end, saga be? I mean, he's lost his whole family. He can't look after himself.
I want the social services to look to investigate and prosecute this family against him and put him in some kind of safe house for the next few years.
You don't know about Chunky? Sloppy's just fucking turned up.
Safe house. Yeah. Slough didn't need a safe house. A safe house needs Slough's
The
protection.
safe house needs as well.
Yeah. Yep, wave that domino box all over the place.
Yeah.
See it.
Well, that would I bet they got free fucking pizza all the time. That.
See, it worked, did it? I want a pizza now, not Domino's. I have got a pizza down the road, 12-inch for £6.
I've only had Domino's once.
Oh, it's such a
Not bad, but you
disappointment.
have to
Like.
take a mortgage out. Yeah, but you got
No,
your mortgage
no.
out, yeah.
Like, honest to God, right, guys. If you want to do a Domino's, the best thing to do is go into the app, dig around in the app,
Off
and
the
you can
deals.
get buy one get one free, and maybe it's cost you £21, but you'll get 2 fucking huge pizzas.
You know, funny because I just saw an advert online. It popped up a few times. It's this bloke, and he's I forget what the app is now. I think it's Honey. I think there's an app called Honey. Basically, you install it on your computer, and then when you go into like any shop, it's like it's on your desktop. So you just click on that, and it basically searches the whole internet for like deals and stuff like that. And this bloke's doing it for Just Eat, I think. And he's sitting there going, "Are you tired of spending a fortune on takeaway food?" He is this, and he's like got a huge, like he's on his own, no friends or whatsoever. And he's sitting there going, "I've ordered all this food, and it only came for like something like $60 or something like that." And it's just like, but you still spend $60 on food on your own. And let's be honest, guys, a lot of takeaway food doesn't have much longevity in it.
It's already out of date by the time it's hit the fryer.
Yeah.
Are you guys up to the bit where he mentions the octopus? Fucking lies.
Rosie just discovered the gold, and I reckon, given the shit she's been through, she should have just started legging it now.
She should have said fuck all and just went into mine. No sign.
It's funny though, because if you think about it, I mean, out of everything that we saw on that ship, those are probably the fakest looking jewels ever. It may as well have just gone with the gold doubloons.
Oh, shot, man.
What? When the boat's not here yet.
I I'm
Yeah,
past this.
we're not there
I'm
yet.
up to the credits now.
Paul's halfway down the coast.
I'm up to the Goonies, the song.
Was it good enough? Yeah, at that point now, the octopus, it was scary. What octopus?
See, they said it is a kiddie camp. Octopus? What were you on about?
Yeah.
I thought we just made it up to sound even worse.
Well, the thing is, it's more like it's the cautionary tale of 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, the ship. When it's sailing in the sunset, it's like, oh, you know what I
And
mean?
that's why I love 80s films. You know it's bad, but at the time, you know what I mean, I just love that kind of ILM kind of, effects.
Yeah.
It must have been hard to do. You know what I mean? Without having
Stephen, you know what? You know what film I'm thinking of now, don't you, Stephen?
What's that?
Blackbeard Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was really good on that, though.
Yeah.
You need to watch that, Paul, if you've got Disney+. Plus.
Blackbeard Ghost. See, that's the film I watched the other week, and I thought, what's this film with a sequel, really?
Oh, it doesn't look good.
It did look nice.
It doesn't look good.
It looked lovely.
It doesn't.
The magic's there. I believe that a ship sailing up into the sunset, that's all I need.
Right.
What would happen now if they went back and CGI'd it like they did with E.T. and Star Wars?
That would be fine for me.
Just to clean it up
Well,
a
that
little
seems
bit.
particularly based on what Mason's reaction is. I don't think people would have worried too much about it.
Right.
You know, like if it's...
One of the things on the Blu-ray disc is the fact that if you go to audio commentary, which a lot of people don't like doing, you get the entire cast watching the film, which is really cool.
Yeah. All 7 actors, yeah.
I'm also trying to navigate the fucking menu screen, and it's not having it.
As am I. But I think it doesn't give you an option with deleted scenes you watch. I think if you want to watch the octopus one, we're going to have to watch them all.
I can't even get to the deleted scenes, mate.
Hello.
Hi, I've got...
Yes?
Nah. I can't... Literally, the PlayStation will not move.
YouTube. Goonies deleted scene. Octopus.
Oh, hang on. Oh, no. Right, I'm on deleted scenes now.
1 minute 19.
Right, hang on. Let's skip through. Kids at the shop. Oh, that's
I'm
it.
watching it right now.
Wait, hang on. You meant to watch it together, you mong?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm on a tube of you, man.
I
I'm
can't...
ahead of you.
Oh, fuck me. I'm going to have to go out the DVD player.
It's not on the Blu-ray, is it?
Well, it's...
Yeah, but we have to navigate the menu screen where you're on Now TV, aren't you?
I'm on YouTube now.
Well, I'm going on to YouTube now.
Sorry, I'm with you on that one because I tried to backtrack on PlayStation and that's not fun. So
I hate PlayStation with X and O turn around depending on what format it is, to which fucking stops or starts the fucker.
I remember using the PlayStation 3 years ago for a Blu-ray player. Oh, and that's all I needed for a Blu-ray player is a PlayStation 3. Then you could bring it out the window. It's so annoying. And then buy like a remote control for it instead, so I can use it that way. Yeah.
It's the worst. It's one of the worst controllers to have if you're watching a fucking movie and putting it down and it skips forward, it fucking spins around, it goes upside down, inside out, and you're like, all I
You
want.
really look at it. Does it? Have you found it yet?
Right, octopus scene.
yeah.
Right, 1 minute 49. Yeah.
I'm on the watch as much as you want for a low price. So we're going to get past this advert first.
Adverts starting.
Advert, mate.
3,
Right,
2, 1.
there we go. So they're in the water, they're going towards the ship.
Yeah.
Technical. Just went over the statue. Oop, touching her leg. Oh yeah, because she thinks it's him touching her leg.
Yeah.
I remember it now.
I've seen this, yeah.
Can you remember it?
Oh, and then the reveal. I mean, it looks like a fucking... Oh, it's just the eye.
Yeah, it's the eye that's making it look a little bit cartoonish.
I would have had that underwater more, you know what I mean? But again, that's a massive... That's a massive fucking practical effect, that though.
Yeah. See, the bits underwater, that seems alright, that, like, I mean, not mouth biting down on it, like, that's just weird. Making too much of a cartoon out of it.
Oh, and he,
Data's got his Walkman out.
I
That's
mean,
probably a song.
Yeah, I can see why this got cut.
That song's probably on a soundtrack that's never actually been heard because of this deleted scene.
Yeah.
Really?
again, no, it's kind of like eerie as fuck to me personally, and like, and again, it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, octopus, and then oh yeah, there was an octopus in the Goonies,
Yeah.
and then this scene here when Chuck and all them are getting a bit closer, aren't they?
Yeah, it explains how they got there, like, obviously as quick as they did at the end.
So yeah, this has just been ripped from the fucking Blu-ray, and it gets loads of views. And someone's got this monetized as well. That's why we had a fucking advert. And now who's fucking the crime there? Oh, you fucking no video on it. Fuck off. Right. Well,
Hold on. What we got there?
what?
It's 70,000 views as well, nearly 71. 79, so nearly 80,000 views. That's daylight robbery.
Scene from the Goonies from Nerd News Today from 3 years ago. We're probably on. How many Hey You guys would you give it?
It's how many booby traps? Booby traps.
Booby traps?
I quite like the How Many One Eye Willies, like, to be fair, but
Hey, you
yeah, I would. That's why I said it. I mean, have you got something against that, like, Paul? You're
No. I just don't really
don't
like
want to get that
pirates.
reputation, do you? I mean, I don't like Willies, just to be honest, but yeah, I've realised it's being recorded.
No.
All for comic effect. No, I would give this. It's a close one. I think I'm tinkering on. No, I'm going to be decisive. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. Hey, you guys.
Wow.
I think this is a timeless film that still works. It still plays off as a fun film. I do think it's a smart move to get rid of the octopus scene now that I've been like kind of refreshed on it. But characters, everyone has a part to play. Nobody's being left in the dark. The villains are genuine, actual villains. I believe that if they caught them, they were probably going to kill them. And obviously a lot of the stars in there that we know are going to come up and be bigger names, so you've got a rich cast there. So yeah, I think this stands up as one of the best.
That was the highest score you've given a movie so far, that one.
It is, yeah.
I'm going to say 9 as well. Nostalgia, soundtrack. It's been made as a proper movie, as in there's the end of the day, look at that set with a ship at the end. I mean, that's just you. The people wouldn't do that now. It'd be all CGI. There's a ship over there. All right. Oh, sorry, it's over that direction. You know what I mean? Their reactions are just well cast. A lot of breakout stars. I mean, probably hell, Josh Brolin. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's timeless. It works really well. It doesn't have to fuck around with modern day technology. There's a lot of friendship there. I will agree with Paul though. It does slow down in the middle. And then wraps up quite quickly in the middle. But again, taking the octopus scene and stuff like that, it was maybe paced a little bit more to have that thing in, but then they've dropped it. Steven Spielberg again, too many fingers and too many pies, that fucker. But this is a one which, you know, it just makes you want to beat David Johnson, also known as Sluggy to Death, for not watching this film. You know what I mean?
You know what it is? It's just purely, it's the worst reading as well. It's not like you're saying, oh, I'm not going to watch it because it's not my thing. It's not the sort of thing I want to watch and all this and the other. He literally is just doing it because he knows it annoys other people, which I feel like he's really losing out on a good film.
I mean, I love the kid a bit, but I would love him a little bit more if he just let it go. I mean, he was straight edge and then he fell off the edge. So maybe there's hope for the Goonies. What about you, Paul?
Well, it's like anything like Stranger Things. Everyone says it'd be awesome to watch, and I'd never bothered because I was sick to hear about it. And now, obviously, I'm nearly through all the seasons now, and I loved it. But I think just because I hear about it so many times, and people go about it so many times, I just got sick of hearing about it, like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. I wonder if I give those a chance, I would have enjoyed them. But I think it's the kind of thing. But for me, I'll give it around 7. You guys, the only reason why I give it 7.4 is because obviously I've seen that many times. I do love the film, but I do think there is a pace in the middle where audiences these days now, kids wouldn't sit still for that long to watch it. I mean, we can because we know what's going to happen with it. But yeah, it's again. I mean, it's still a really great film. You can always go back to it. I mean, we love the 80s films, and you know we grew up with it. So yeah, give it 7 to you guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, this has been an awesome podcast. It's pretty late. I'm going to cook some food. I just want to give a massive thank you to David Johnson for his cameo. We will be back. Hopefully with Waterworld, but it looks like we're gearing up to revisit the Gremlins very soon. And we'll kick on this thing. So I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. I've been joined with Paul Ray and Carl.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Goodbye for now.